everyone. I think I'm decided. I'm going to try to do a little vlog about just gardening, I guess, because that's pretty much a part of my everyday life. Because my husband and I have a lawn care business, so we mostly cut grass. And I started doing this a couple of years ago so that I can get some experience so we can start offering urban farming and agricultural type of products to our customers. Because black people need to eat too, don't we? So I'm gonna, I wish I knew how to flip the screen around, but anyway. I want to show you all some of my plants and where they are right now. And on another time, I'll maybe go over some of the, I'm gonna say, difficulties that I ran into trying to get this even started. Right here, you'll see I have kale and I have onions. These are all, and some marigolds. But these are onions that I actually planted from sprouted onions that were in my kitchen. And when you put them in the ground, if you put the root part down, you'll notice they'll just start growing. You can eat the green part. If you decide not to eat them, what'll happen is it'll flower. So you see this right here, that's a flower, which will create onion seeds. So if I decide to, I can collect these seeds or let them fall where they are if I'm going to use this portion of the yard again for onions. But there you go, I'd have some onion seeds to plant if I wanted to. I have kale here. I can't remember what kind it is. I actually used to have them all the way far over there. So that's why they look a little bit limp, because I literally just moved them yesterday. So I'm just waiting on them to pick up because it's been kind of like rainy today too, without much sun. Oh, I have one broccoli. I planted like 8 broccoli seeds or 10, and this is the only one that came out, so it's probably going to be a nice strong plant. Another thing we have in the garden is, this is a blackberry bush right here. I planted it against the kids, you know, little swing set to give them basically a snack they can graze on without me having to do anything for it. So every single one, you see these little flowers? Every single one of these is a berry. Every single little white flower that you see will become a blackberry. Most fruits and vegetables, which is what I plant versus regular flowers, they all flower anyway. And first you get the flower, and then it produces the fruit or vegetable for you. And you'll see a couple more flowers as we go on, of course, and we'll do little periodic updates, but you want those flowers, and you want that because that's going to attract the bees and the butterflies and things like that to pollinate the plant so that it actually produces fruit for you. I recently got a zucchini from my neighbor across the street. She gave me 2. And in between these zucchini, actually, this is carrot tops. So whenever I make carrots at home, I cut off the root end and I soak it in some water. Oh, let me show you over here. I got some. And you see how the shoots come out and they become green. And once that happens, so I'll probably do this in a day or 2, you can put them in the ground and they'll grow green. They won't grow a new carrot though, but you can eat the greens. So in the past, I've used basil to make pesto, but I did half basil and half the carrot greens, and it tasted awesome. Here's my little baby basil. In about 2 months, that's going to be a really big bush. Oh, next to it, this is a raspberry root that I planted this year, so it's not going to do anything this year other than kind of grow a little bit. It takes the second year of the plant's maturity in order to produce. So this blackberry next to it, for example, I've had that blackberry bush for like 3 years now, I think. Okay, so back to this little piece of garden. You see these are cucumbers, but these 2 are a different type of cucumber than those 2. My neighbor gave me these. And then on this side, this one's like, you know, the 2 right there. I'm gonna call these Nicole's cucumbers, these, because she gave me those. These are from the same neighbor across the street who gave me the zucchinis. She is from Africa, and a lot of times when she tells me about the plants, she tells me that they're African seeds, but I'm not 100% sure in that sense of if these are or not. But you can definitely tell that they're different types of cucumbers, right? Like, I think this will be my first year actually growing different types of cucumbers. But last year my cucumber crop just failed miserably. Like it started out just bam, 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 everywhere. And then it turned into nothingness like overnight. But it was really rainy and I had planted them kind of early. So I really think that's what killed them, because that happened to a lot of farmers actually. Because the weather has been changing so much because of global warming. Anyway, these two right here though that were mine, I grew those from the seeds that I saved from the harvest I had of cucumbers year before last. All these right here in this whole plot are tomato plants. You see different levels of, some are tiny, you know. These all come from seeds that I saved last year actually. And that last night I went around and I pulled them out of the groups that they were growing in. So look right here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 friggin' tomato plants right next to each other. But a tomato plant gets as big as me, which is like 6 feet tall, so that ain't gonna work. The other thing is, a lot of diseases for the plants will start to happen if they don't have enough sun and air circulation to help the leaves get dry. And that's gonna kill all your plants if you let it, because it'll start to spread. So you all gotta keep that in mind when they put those directions about spreading stuff out. You really gotta look at that. Or you're gonna have to do a whole lot of extra, I'm gonna say maintenance, to keep it from dying, you know? So I still need to move that little portion around. But I had so many tomato plants. Look at this. These are all tomato plants too. Now I did buy some of these this year because I knew I was starting it from seed. I started all my plants from seeds. So it takes forever. You know, I probably started in like February. So I went to the store and I bought a couple of bell pepper plants and a couple of tomato plants, also because my tomatoes are cherry tomatoes, which takes forever to like peel and cook because they're so small. So I went ahead and bought some larger varieties this year, and this way I can save the seeds from these if I wanted to. So these, you see the flower I was talking about? You see these little yellow flowers? Tomatoes create yellow flowers, and then that's when the plant starts to produce the fruit from that flower. So all around here, I took plants from over that section and moved them, and I tried to spread them out as much as I could because I don't have that much space, and you know, having to dig all this stuff up by hand is just like time consuming and tiring. So these are the bell peppers. You see the little flower? You see this? Those are gonna all turn, this is a tomato. This is a bell pepper. Another bell pepper. You see the little balls? Those are all gonna turn into bell peppers. I planted this rose bush this year because flowers are pretty, but I wanted to have organic roses actually because you can eat roses and make tea and things like that. So apparently no one makes them organically because I called around and asked to try to find some. So I went ahead and planted one, and I probably should have planted like 3 right along here. And maybe I will later in the time. This right here, this is chives. I really want to say the real name of it is like Society Garlic or something, but you can eat the flowers. You can eat, of course, all this green part. Just keep in mind again, if you eat the stem that has a flower, what happens is it gets kind of stiff because all of the energy of that particular stem goes into producing the flower. So you're really supposed to eat the flower versus the stem at that point. I got 2 of those. I have another one in the front yard, but I'm trying to grow everything possible in the whole world, I think. Here goes some marigolds. Now I planted the marigolds this year for the first time because I was trying to help my plants with the companion planting to keep some of the bugs out. And do you know, something started going under my fence eating all the flowers, and I'm absolutely sure it was a bunny. So I had to go around and reinforce the fencing, but whatever. This little patch right here is, I call it a flower garden because in the spring it has flowers, but right now it just looks like horrid. Now here we go again. So here's the kids' little playground. You can see. Got a little oregano plant back there. This right here is a lemon thyme. so wonderful. I mean, it just smells freaking good. Down here, I decided to plant my lettuces because it's a lot cooler right here, but it doesn't get as much sun as I want, but lettuce doesn't want to get killed in that sense. So there's Swiss chard right here. I actually threw a couple of extra Swiss chard seeds in there like 2 days ago. So we'll see what else it turns into, but these lettuces right here came from my, again, my Liberian neighbor across the street. She told me that she believes there's some type of Chinese lettuce. I can really smell that lemon thyme right here. Oh my God. Okay. So, I think that's all I have in my backyard. Oh, my bad. This year I started a compost heap. Never had that, always wanted that. So you can put in there, you'll see. I have eggshells, old flowers that was in a vase, the grass clippings from the yard. That's an egg carton. See his little pieces. This is egg carton from when I was doing the seeds, because I use the egg cartons because you can plant them if you want to. So, you know, I come in here and I mix it up like once a week, you know, and I actually till it up like once a month, just to kind of keep it turning over. And so hopefully in the fall, well, of course, in the fall, I'll be able to use this soil for more planting. But you put in, I'm trying to think of what else we put in here. Basically, because I eat not real fresh, but I eat a lot of fresh stuff. So all those little scraps of onions and bell peppers and mushrooms. But don't put any meat in there. Please don't put any meat in there. And also don't put anything in there that's been chemically processed if you can avoid that with the paper. I mean, don't put anything else. Never put any meat in there. This is what I've been doing since, so like I said, I think I started, this is maybe my 4th year or 3rd year gardening. But since we've been home with COVID, I'm blogging. Here's a little patio table. Y'all can't tell how good it looks, but I spray painted this bezier over the course of the last week, and I'm very, very proud of myself. So, oh, here's one of the egg cartons. This is an old one. It's just to show you what I did so that I started the seeds. And I have a place to put them because they're going to be so tiny anyway. Same over here. This is like my little workstation. Okay. I have all these rocks down here because I use the rocks to line the plants, just to make sure nobody accidentally cuts them down or steps on them, because I got 3 kids walking around here playing. This is some bamboo my daughter gave me. But this is some dill, actually. This is all in the front yard, so I'll show you that next time. These are all tomato plants that I found in my yard, because plants are self-producing if you let them go to seed. So basically, this is stuff that grew on its own. And when I started going through my garden weeding, I found, this dill and tomato plants. These, though, you see, are seeds that I'm starting. So you see that? There's some cayenne peppers, broccoli. I told you again, I tried to do the broccoli earlier, and I got one. So I'm going to go ahead and do a couple more. And I think this is basil? Okra, my bad. Okra. Okay, so originally I planted okra in that big spot over there in the middle. And none of it grew because it was too cold in Ohio, so I got nothing. So I went ahead and tried again. Now the thing about the carrots that I told y'all, you see that? You can do the same exact thing with, this is romaine lettuce. When you cut the bottom off and stick it in the water, you see that in the sun? It just starts growing again. You don't have to freaking keep buying it. Oh my God. Same thing with green onions. See that? So this one I recently put in here. You can tell this one's been in there. But man, they've been tricking us. So hey, my melanated people, I'm making this vlog because I want y'all to understand we have to be able to feed ourselves. We have to be able to recognize what food looks like, and we have to share. Thanks, guys.